Yes.
Okay, good. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Franklin Planning Board, the October 7th, 2024 meeting. This meeting is audio and video recorded. It's also on Zoom, and the Zoom call-in number is 312-626-6799 with the meeting meeting number 99180484838. We'll do the public hearing first, a continuation for 15 Liberty Way. Amy, are they getting close, I think, with Concom?
Yes, they are. They've actually settled a lot with COMCOM. Currently, Beta's in the process of reviewing the project. I could probably recommend continue it to the next meeting,
Or do you want to go to the next one?
October 21st.
On the 21st, or they think we ready? Don't we have a bunch on the 21st already?
We have two things.
Okay.
Well, we have two public hearings.
Okay. So make a motion to continue 15 Liberty Way till October 21st. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, it's just three of us.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, I
Sure.
will not be at the next meeting.
Okay.
21st. Oh, wait, I know, sorry.
You're gonna be here? John will be
I
here?
made it back from New Hampshire.
Chris will be here? Yeah, okay, we'll be all right.
It's called dedication.
Okay, our next item of business would be general business. This would be a partial Form H for Washington Street flex space for Building 2. Amy, if I could go to you, please, for a quick, brief review?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this project was approved back in February 28th, 2022. The board has already issued a partial Form H for the first building. They're here for the second building. There's still a third building that they will be working on. They've included the list of the outstanding items, and Beta has been out there and has provided a report, and Matt is online with any comments.
Okay, good. Matt, can I go to you, please?
Sure, yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Beta has been out to the site several times recently. The engineer of record has also included a list of outstanding items on their Form 8. Some of the typical items are, like top course and plantings. The one item of note on the engineer of records list is that the lack of fence installation at the top of slope behind building number 2. So turning over to my list, it's a pretty short list, so I think it makes sense maybe to just go item by item. We did note that the proposed guardrail and fence that's adjacent to the retaining wall at the back of the site has been installed only to about 20 feet short of the Phase 2 paving limits. So it is my understanding, and I actually verified today, they have placed some storage containers and some temporary jersey barriers along that area to make sure that vehicles and people cannot walk over to the top of the retaining wall. We did also note that there's no construction fencing between the Building 2 paving area and the Building 3 construction area. I did briefly run this by the building commissioner today, and based upon the description that I gave him, it does appear that he would like to see some separation between the work area and the area that's going to be used as part of building number 2. Pretty small item, the outlet pipe from the drainage system was partially blocked by stone. I spoke with the engineer of record today. It's my understanding that it has been cleared out, so I think that's addressed. We just noted that the dumpster pad and enclosure has not been installed yet for building 2. However, they do have a temporary construction dumpster that seems more than adequate at this time. Fire hydrant is installed. However, the orientation is, I guess, not facing towards the building. It still would be usable. We obviously defer to the fire chief on if that's a safety issue or not, or if it needs to be rotated 90 degrees towards the parking area and building. Something that was addressed, there was a water valve box that was missing the cover. They've taken care of that. They need to spread out the stone behind building number 2, and they did swap out the mislabeled covers for the drain and the sewer on one of the structures out there. So be happy to answer any questions that the board may have at this time.
Okay, thank you, Matt. I'm gonna go to Mike. DPW, Mike, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, I don't. I saw Matt's report, I reviewed that, and I agree with all his comments on there. We didn't have anything else to add.
Okay, thank you. Before I go to the applicants, actually, if you guys just want to introduce yourself, and I'll go to the board next.
Sure, I'm Peter Genta with FlexSpace, Franklin FlexSpace LLC, and
From,
FlexSpace and also general contractor.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I'll start at this end. Mark, any comments, questions on what you've seen?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering, are there any outstanding issues that we need to be concerned with building one? Or have they all been resolved?
Building one's
Nothing
signed-
rolling
Building
over?
one's signed off.
Build it one, but, yeah, they're tied together.
On building
Matt?
one, it's primarily the top coat on the
Other than
Asphalt,
landscaping,
yeah.
top coat?
seats, plantings.
And an entrance sign that's going through the signage.
Design review.
For you guys.
I mean, the building commissioner seems to have a concern about the
That's-
separate.
I'm gonna bring, yeah.
Okay, and also, I guess Matt mentioned there was the stone that out in the back of the building and the fencing out back, is that?
We brought pictures for the items
Yeah,
that
if
were
you see on
remaining.
page 2 of this handout, the stone's been added and spread behind building B.
Okay.
And what we did is on, you can see the fencing, we put it above the retaining wall, but the actual conditions in the field, we were able to do a small under 4-foot
2-to-1.
boulder toe wall and able to get the slope down to 2-to-1. So we figured it didn't really need a fence, but
No, the fence is usually for safety for an area that's 4 feet or greater that someone could fall over. And it terminates behind building A, which you're calling building 1.
which is where the second photo under number 5 is.
Matt, are you comfortable with that change?
So I don't think that the fence is needed for any fall protection down where the wall was proposed. However, I'm not familiar if the fence was proposed for any type of screening. It's heavily wooded up there next to the resident, so I don't recall during the design process of what the fence was proposed for.
That's a 50-foot lot that
It was originally gonna be a retaining wall higher than 4 feet needed.
Okay.
And then the actual conditions determined we didn't need to do that. So the fence was originally proposed to run with the
with the
retaining
retaining
wall.
wall, which was about 5 or 6 feet at the time.
We'll make sure that it gets
Okay.
documented on the way through.
In that area as well, it has a 50-foot strip. There is no
A butter.
abutter. We can't find the abutter, nobody can, they haven't paid tax.
We're trying to track them down.
Okay. Got anyone else?
No, I have no further questions.
Jay?
So I guess the only question I have is, did you stop short on the guardrail for a construction-related purpose?
We did, and
What was that with, in front of building 50 feet?
we have a high slope and it turns around. And what we do is, we've been using these temporary barriers.
They're filled with water, we lock them together. There's-
So currently, the existing conditions are 2 storage containers with barriers in between, so no one can get out there unintended.
But you don't plan to alter that, it's gonna continue along the.
it's-
And the
it's-
plan is, once we
We can get back.
start on phase 3, we'll just continue the guardrail.
Yeah, we have to be able to get back in there to do that.
Retaining wall. We're gonna start the retaining wall
The
in,
lower
within a
section.
month.
Excellent, no, that's all I got.
Okay.
Sorry for the confusion.
And then there was one question of, we've been a little bit lax in the, putting in a barrier between building B and C, because we've been actively under construction, and it's not occupied yet. But our plan is to put the fence or the water-filled barriers back
Probably the
before we're
fence-
occupied.
The fence itself.
Probably the fence itself, where we can just move the,
Screen.
we'll have a gate and temporary,
So
Chain.
phase 2 to phase 3, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So your guardrail barrier that you show on these photos, which are really the storage containers with the orange water.
That's
filled,
correct. And that's just a close-up of what they
And
look like.
those, that will be removed and the guardrail will be installed during,
Yes.
once you're.
Once we add the,
Lowest slope.
continue the lower slope on phase 3, we'll
This
continue.
is not your long-term solution.
No,
no, no.
Okay,
No,
just
that's
making sure
just-
I understood that correctly.
That we need,
No, believe me.
Approximately how much time will that be like that?
Yeah.
yeah, about, let's say.
Maybe,
3
maybe,
months.
maybe a couple months after occupancy.
Yeah.
We can get to it quicker.
Yeah, we want to seed it as well. We usually try to get that loam in there and everything else before we put the guardrail on the lower slope. And the buildings are taking about 6 months, so right around that time, we have that completed, right in that range.
But we can, if it's a big issue, we can get a crew to extend it 20 feet.
We could.
Once we
Get past
start the,
Pass that.
in about 30 days.
Is it your intention to start building 3 in about 30 days?
No, we're starting now.
We're
We have to
starting,
ordering materials to be delivered, and then they can start the retaining wall.
Okay.
we need the foundation. and
We're
haven't
working
started
on
that.
the grading and the foundation excavation.
These orange barriers are actually heavier and more of an obstruction than that guardrail is, believe it or
It's
not.
fine temporarily, I just
Yeah.
don't want it to
It's
be the
nice.
final
No,
location.
it's not.
We use them for that purpose, even on roadways.
Understood, yep, and then my, one other question for you is, you have, your plantings have not been completed, not until fall of 2025. Is that due to your construction season, or how come they can't?
We're still-
We might get, I'm told if we can get them out next week or this week, we can do some hydro seeding.
Right,
That'll take-
we've done hydro seeding in phase 1. Phase 2, we just missed the season because we had rain hitting,
And then-
and was gonna
And then
just
summer
wash
was
out.
gonna dry out.
And then it got cold, and so we missed it through all that,
We might be able to get it in.
yeah, we could. I just don't know if it's gonna take through the winter, it's not gonna
No,
germinate in this
Understanding conditions, but if there's
Yeah.
anything you can do to get things planted up there before the fall of 2025, I'd love to see that.
Oh, are you talking on the upper slope behind the
Oh,
building?
no, we plan on being,
Yeah,
We're gonna-
it's just
Well-
on your Form H, your
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
certificate,
yeah.
you have indicating that you're not doing any plantings until fall of 2025. So if that's not accurate, then what is the date that you
Wait.
think you'll have plantings in?
they'll be completed by then.
Right.
We'll be
But you'll be
doing it in
doing
stages. We'll
progress?
do it as we,
See,
Okay.
like a
we
sausage.
were considering that established at
Yep.
that time, not really, that's what we.
You're not
think.
waiting until the fall of
No, no, no.
25 to do your
We hope to
plantings?
be all
Because we don't.
grown in by then.
When you put some spray down, it takes a
Yep.
while to, you got.
Germinate.
Understood, just
Yeah.
want to make sure we see
Clarify.
something up there before next year. the end
Yes.
of the
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Yep.
That'll do it.
I think that's all I have. Okay, I'm good.
Clear? Okay.
Thank you.
I just had a couple quick ones, and it'll go back to, one of the comments from, Matt from Beta. I'm looking at the picture and I see a fire hydrant, but I see a storage can in front of it.
Yes,
You gotta make that accessible for
Oh,
fire
yeah.
department.
Yeah, the
So
fire
we-
department will
they-
be out
yeah. The
hopefully
fi-
this week, right?
The fire department does not want to depend on that hydrant. They will utilize it if it works, but they don't want it activated really. It is active, it can be utilized. But they wanted the site established and ready before they could depend on that hydrant. So they're dependent on the one on the street, just so you know. And the one that's in there, I didn't even realize it was reversed. We can
Yeah,
quickly
we'll
change
clear that with the fire department.
It's better than my punch list.
Okay. So
I missed
the
that.
only other thing is, can you clean the front entrance up a bit before season's end? It pretty much looks like you're starting.
Before
on
season
building
end,
one,
we have we have a,
and you haven't done anything with the
No,
whole
we
front
haven't.
entry.
That we did. What happened there is, the site contractor, he had an excess of loan.
our export permit expired and we're in the process of renewing it, but it goes through a town hearing. So we're kind of like at a standstill. We can't take stuff off the property.
So
What we want to do is cut down the front
Just
and,
grade.
we have a monument sign on its
Yeah.
way.
Just grade it, make it look representative.
that
We
material.
can make the first,
That,
the stuff you see from the street
that material,
looking good.
that material that's
Grade it,
there
throw some
is
mulch
getting-
down or
Yeah,
something, just
yeah.
for the
It's-
neighbors and aesthetics.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a temporary
We
situation.
can
where
use mulch or
We're
something.
holding it there, so
The trick is you wanna finish phases one,
Yes.
2 as you go, and then finish 3 when you're done.
Right,
Then you're not going back and dropping back into
Yeah.
phases 1 and 2 to complete everything.
yeah,
Just build it as you go,
yeah,
and your punch list is gonna be 100 times shorter.
right.
It comes
No,
down to
I
that.
know, our site contractor was saying he's
We
constrained
had-
for land.
And he had a good point, because you haul loam across a finished area, back and forth and back and forth, and it makes a mess.
Yeah.
He said, let's do it while we can, and we don't mess up everything. And it's sitting out there, it's good loam, it'll haul out quick. We'll be gone in 2 days when we can get it out of there.
So now the only other thing is, the 11th hour pictures, they don't always fly with us. So
Okay.
get your stuff in much earlier so Matt can actually look at it and confirm if it.
We just got Matt's revised comments on
Okay, but
Thursday, Friday.
yeah, just make sure.
Okay.
Stuff like this is done so Matt can give his check to it.
We'd rather have you have no
Well,
checklist, actually.
Wow.
No, agreed, it was,
Yeah.
Just don't wait till the 11th hour, because next time you're gonna get pushed down the street to,
Okay.
to another meeting. And the only other thing I'm gonna make comment is I wanna make sure that, building commissioner does a final walkthrough.
Yeah,
Just to confirm everything's safe. Okay?
Yes.
we have the plumber, the electrical inspector, and then.
Yeah, I
fire
want site, I
department.
wanted to make sure he's comfortable with the fencing,
Oh, yeah.
the guard, the barriers, et cetera, et cetera.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay? So, if we can do that, Amy,
Mhm.
and then we'll make a motion to,
We get electrical on?
Sign-ups?
Yeah.
give a partial Form H for the Washington Street
On
flex
Friday?
space. You guys,
Wednesday.
partial Form H for the Washington Street flex space, for building 2. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So you're all set.
Thank
Building commissioner will look at it for us just before you get it.
Agreed.
We're looking at Friday, hopefully for that. Thursday or
Okay.
Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you for your time. Do you need an extra copy?
No, I'm good.
I went to Amy, actually, if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
if you don't mind.
The,
Last business.
Just
If
make
you
sure
need
you
it
guys,
electronically, let me know.
Thank you.
just make sure you guys get your paperwork in well advanced so Matt and we can get our eyes on it. That's
Fair
all.
enough.
yeah, it helps.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Okay.
And then our last item of business would be, actually, what was on my list? Last time I had business would be an 81B and A&R at 60 Spring Street. If I could go to Amy, please, for the Department of Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So they submitted an A&R plan for 60 Spring Street, September 11th, 2024, creating 3 buildable lots, and then there's an easement lot that provides the parking area towards the existing solar farm, and it provides parking for people to access Spring Street. My comment was, they've applied for map 310, lot 002. According to our GIS, it shows that this is lot 002.1, so I think just need to get some clarification on that. The roadway was put in, I know Mike's online, so due to, they've worked through with DPW and the tree warden, they will be coming in for a scenic road permit at the next meeting for the trees that have been removed.
So should I hold off? though?
Spring Street is,
It's a
it's two
scenic
separate,
road.
yeah, but it's two separate items. You don't, the ANR, we only have 21 days to make that decision, so I would say that it's okay for the ANR tonight and then deal with the scenic road permit at the next meeting.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Sure.
So Amy, if our GIS says it's one parcel number and they're saying it's one parcel number, I'm assuming that they had proper research done on the parcel number, so what's shown on the plan is accurate, or?
That's
I
what I
mean,
don't
wanna
know.
approve a plan,
Is,
you know what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
has the wrong parcel numbers on it, because
I would
Is
refer
anybody
to the
representing-
engineer. Yes, they're on Zoom.
Yeah, I don't know who is. You just
Yes,
wanna
I'm here, Mr.
introduce-
Chairman.
Just introduce yourself, and if you can walk us through your plan change here.
Yeah, and if I can share my screen?
Yep, let me give me 1 second. Okay, you should be all set.
Okay, does everybody see that?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Okay, there it is there. Okay, how about that?
No.
Not yet.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair and board members. My name is Mike Dean with D&L Design Group. Here representing the applicant is Lewis Street Realty LLC. As Amy has mentioned, the application in front of the board is a Form A, 81P plan or approval not required A&R. Up in this area, this project is commonly referred to as 60 Spring Street. Spring Street showing up along this area here, along here in the blue, and 60 Spring Street. This is the area associated with the solar field that's located towards the rear of this larger parcel. So, in terms of the plan referencing lot, so it's map parcel ID 310, lot 002, and then I discovered, or I reached out to Amy later on today, or earlier today, and I saw that that was her concern in her memorandum. And then going back to the GIS, there's actually two parcels here, 2.1 and 2.0. And so actually, it's an A&R plan associated with both those parcels, so we could certainly clean up that lot 2.1. If I can, let me try to share the screen. Yeah, let's see, share screen. So right here, if I can just jump to the GIS real quick. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's 2.1, here's Spring Street located in this area. This is just a screenshot from the GIS plan. So Spring Street's shown here. We have 2.1, and then see the southern property line here?
Yep.
That's part of this subdivision. It's like these parcels shown on the GIS actually run along the easement lines or lease lines that are associated with the solar field here. So let me just try to jump back to the 81P. But the bottom line is that we can certainly clean up the paperwork. It's all we have to do. After I talk to Amy a little bit further and we get on the same page with the parcel numbers, I believe that we just have to add 2.1 to the plan and the documents.
Okay.
So if you go back to here, back to this screen, in this location, this is that southern property lines in this area, see this, the magenta?
Yep.
So this, and then see these lines that are kind of short and meander back and forth? That's the easement line that's associated with the division between 2.1 up in this general area and 2.0 in the rear area. So I believe we just have to add 2.1 to it.
Okay,
But
good.
other than that, they meet zoning, lot 1, 2, and 3 all shown here, adequate frontage, adequate areas. You see the diameter, the circles drawn here. So everything does meet zoning, we just need to clean up that 2.1 and 2.0.
Okay, so before I go to the board, Mike,
Yes,
are you,
Yeah.
if you could chime in?
Mike Maglio.
Mike Maglio.
oh, sorry, I apologize.
No, sorry about that.
Hey, Mike's. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. So yeah, I really didn't look closely at the A&R plan itself, so I wasn't aware of the discrepancies with the parcel numbers there. But as far as the work that was done in Spring Street, we were made aware that we've been out there to inspect it. And we met with the developer to discuss the issues of what happened there. Some of the work was done without permits, and some of the trees were taken down without the hearing. So we had met with them, and the plan is to have the joint meeting with the tree warden and the planning board for the scenic road hearing on the 21st, I believe it is, to discuss that issue. The A&R plan itself, like I said, I didn't look closely at it, and I wasn't aware of the issue with the parcel numbers.
Okay, good, thank you, Mike. I'll go to the board first, I'll go to Mark if you have any comments, questions.
I don't have any comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jay?
I guess the only comment is I'd like to see the NR cleaned up, and just that one little change.
Yep.
Before we go through it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely having the correct parcels on the plan is really important, so making sure that's updated. I don't feel comfortable endorsing, but I guess the question is, Amy, I know we only have so many days to endorse an A&R, but if it's not submitted accurately, does that still interfere in the number of days we have to?
Well, I think if the board would request that they withdraw the application and they resubmit and put it on the next meeting,
Yeah.
and waive the fee,
Waive
because
the
they've
fee.
already
Okay.
paid the fee once, and just withdraw it so that the deadline's over with,
Yeah.
and then resubmit by the next meeting, and we can put it on October 21st.
Perfect. That makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
One quick question. They're gonna have a meeting with tree warden during the day on the 21st?
Tree warden will come to our meeting.
Not let me, okay. So I'm gonna probably make a recommendation, if you just withdraw it without prejudice, resubmit it, we'll waive the fee, clean up all your lot lines, and then we wanna hear about the tree clearing, et cetera, prior to endorsing. Okay? And
Sure.
I-
Yeah, absolutely. Withdraw it without prejudice, then we'll resubmit and hopes to be on the next meeting.
Okay, and there's a gentleman in the audience, you have a comment, question, you here for that? No, you're good, okay. Anybody else in Zoom land? I don't see anybody hands up, okay. So make a motion to continue,
Make a
no,
motion to
to
withdraw the,
withdraw
without prejudice,
Without.
and come back to the next meeting.
for the October 21st meeting. Okay, for a second,
Second.
all in favor?
I
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Chairman?
No, Amy?
Yeah,
Questions, comments?
I could give a quick update of the master plan. You guys are gonna be seeing this coming out soon, probably by end of November, with the final draft to review and go through, all the implementation and the entire manual, and then we'll move to public hearings, and we hope to have it in front of this board, by January, or
Excellent.
beginning of February at the latest.
Good.
So, keep your eyes open for that
Okay.
coming.
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Anybody else?
Make a motion to adjourn?
No?
Second.
Oh, hold on.
No?
Mark, have a comment?
Because I was away, bringing up the subject of across the street, they still
Right.
haven't moved forward, or is there any update on that?
On which one?
About the color,
Taj.
Oh, yeah, I sent it out again, I did. I sent out the letter again and emailed it, and I have not, received any response at this time.
just seems we've granted him occupancy, and he's in good faith, and keeps on dragging out and out and out. That's just my opinion.
Yep, so I have not received any response at this time.
Any recourse? Do we have any
Well,
recourse?
I'm gonna bring the building commissioner in and
Well, the final Form H has not been issued, so that was part of the, reasoning for final Form H to come in. So they're gonna need a final Form H.
It will, but it can sit for 3 years. So I mean, it's been going on for 3 years already. And what you feeling?
You have a plan, you have design review approval, and you ensure us that you're going to build a plan accordingly, including colors, and then you don't, and you're asked multiple times to do it with no response, then I think you need to move on to the next level, which would be talking to the building commissioner. Unless the applicant decides that they want to respond to us and tell us what their plan is, there's no other really recourse unless you go to the next level.
Build what you said you're gonna build, that's all.
So, yeah, I would
I mean,
suggest.
yeah.
We all, it was agreed upon. It was-
We all
it
agree
was
that it's
agreed
supposed to be
that-
white, number one, and
Okay.
number two is, the railing or the patio hasn't been
Hasn't
completed.
been done either,
And-
yep, and you
and,
have people living in there, so.
In the EV stations, we were just over one of the establishments, and the parking lot's full, so I can't imagine, I know Jen said if you put them
They'll,
there,
they'll come,
they'll
yeah,
come.
they're needed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
So,
it just seems that he's taking advantage of that.
Yep. Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
I would like Mr. Chairman here to go to the building commissioner and chat.
Okay?
Amenable to that myself.
Yes.
I'll have Amy start the process, and then we'll follow through, and if you need me, let me know.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you, Amy. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Wow, that was quick.
Is that a record?
I didn't even go.
Pretty close.
Like, I literally kicked my family out in front of my house.